always a wall, babe, when we wanna come closer. Don't tell a million lies, kill the butterflies. I just wanna make things right. Walk, keep us on the road, try to find.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? I see you watching. Say hello, say hello, say hello. Yes, say hello. Tell me where you chiming in from. I am so excited tonight. I'm gonna tell you, this is for the people that are single, and then it is for those that are in a relationship with somebody. I see hello, love. I don't know who's saying it. Please give StreamYard permission to see your name. Please give StreamYard permission to see your name. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about tonight. I'm ready to drop it tonight like it is all the way hot, all the way live, And I just want to really jump right into it. I'm not even going to wait. A lot of people don't even know what to look for in a good partner. I've said this time and time again about having clarity about what it is that you want and what it is that you need. On a personal level, this is what I struggled with when I was younger. I did not know what even to look for. If a man was decent and kind, and I'll date him, go out with them. But I was young and I didn't really know any better, right? But today we're a lot older. And even for the young heads that are watching, right? There are some things that we have to look for. Hey, I see you. I don't know who that is. All it says is Facebook user, right? For a lot of people, right, the issue is that we really do not know what to look for in a partner, right? Some of the key things. And it's simple stuff. It's not difficult. It's not even hard. One of the first things that we ought to be looking for, and I just want to first, before I say anything else, I want to give a shout out to my girl, my sis, Chantel Holly. Today is her birthday. I did not post because I've been running around. I've been out in them streets. But hey, Tony, I see you, sweetheart. How are you? Yeah, I see you. I see you. I love you, sis. I love you. And I just wanted to shout her out, but I'm going to put a post on my good wall for my sis because I absolutely love and adore her. Um, yeah, so one of the first things we should look for in an individual, if we are trying to date them, is we need to look at their character, right? Is a person, do they have good character? This is just the first one. It's four, right? But I want to break down each one. Do they have good character? Like, what are they made of? What do they believe about themselves and others? Right? What do they do? Do they do the right thing most of the time, or they just do things the right thing some of the time? Right? I mean, nobody's perfect, so we're not talking about a perfect person, but you need to look at a person's character, right? I see y'all watching. Say hey. Say hey. Don't be walking up in people's house and not saying hello. Okay. Y'all better know. Y'all know what to do. Stop playing with me this evening. Okay. But building, having somebody that has good character and then asking this question, are they really open and available to love? Because that's the other thing. If you're dating somebody or you just met somebody and you think that they're awesome and you think that they're amazing, and you mess around and get too caught up, and then you find out that they are not open and available to love, they're not really even available to you. They'll date you, but they're not serious about really being with you, right? They're not really up for the challenge. They have work to do. They are in school. They are working on themselves. They just got out of a bad relationship. They need a minute for themselves. They may not necessarily be available to you. And it is what it is. And it doesn't make them bad people. It just means that they are not available for you. Right. And I'm going to talk a little bit later about the other part, the other side of that. Right. But just off the rip, are they emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually available for you? Because that's important. Right. The other thing is, can you trust them? Do you feel safe when you're with them? right? So let's just think about that. What does that look like? How would you know if you could be safe with somebody that you just met, right? These are some really really good questions, and here it is. Here it is. Can you begin to talk to them and be about true intimacy? Are they allowing you to come into their lives? Are they opening up to you? Are they sharing themselves with you? Right? Are they talking about things from, 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Are they sharing that kind of stuff with you? Are they sharing the concerns of their heart with you? Right? The reason why that's important is because usually the way that true intimacy works is that if I open up and I share something with you, you would then open up and share something with me. I am, myself personally, am very evasive. I don't tell anybody anything unless they ask. I don't know where that came from. It might have come from my mom, who says, what goes on in this house stays in this house, and it's kind of like embedded in me. But if you ask me, I'll tell you. But if you don't ask me, then I won't. Right. And I think we all heard that what goes on in this house stays in this house. Right. And so I'm not as open initially with people. I have to get to a place where I can trust you. Right. But if you meet somebody and they are mute about everything that has gone on in their lives, right, and you find that you don't know if you could trust this person, you're feeling a little bit uneasy, then pay attention to what your gut and your intuition is telling you about them. Because usually you're not wrong. You're usually not wrong. Now there's those times when you may be wrong, right? But it's rare. It's rare. Pay attention to what your gut is saying about a person, right? How do they manage conflict? This is all about their character. How do they manage conflict? Do they own their stuff? Are they open about that? If something's gone wrong in their lives, if you're sharing a story about, oh, I used to work at this company and the company did, they let me go. Do they own that, right? Do they own what they do? How do they manage conflict? Right. And this is important stuff. And it may not seem like it is, that important, but it is extremely important. Because if you are going to be in a relationship with somebody and you really care about them, or you're beginning to like them, before you go over the rails, you need to pay attention to the person's character, right? And do they have integrity? Because that's important. Like, if they out here, like kind of robbing and stealing people, you need to pay attention to that. And I don't mean this to use such a drastic example, because it doesn't have to be that. Integrity could be that you're in the grocery store, and because they can take something and stick it in their pocket, they do. Right. And it might only be something that costs $3. I don't know what in the grocery store costs $3 these days. I went to the grocery store the other day. I promise you I bought 6 items. It was $25.48. I was mad. I was big mad. I feel bad for the people who got a huge family to take care of, right? But with that being said, like, do they have real integrity? So that's important. And a lot of brothers and sisters do not know what to look for in a partner. The second part, the second of the four, is their background, right? I don't know if I'm breaking up. Am I breaking up, y'all? Is my video feed good? Because I'm not sure. Can somebody let me know in the chat? Let me know in the chat if my video is breaking up, because I keep seeing my Wi-Fi thing. I'm about to switch carriers because I can't do this. I cannot do this. I got Optimum and I can't do it. I'm not doing it, and I'm not speeding up my service just to be with them. No. Oh, video and sound. Okay, good. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So background. Let's talk about that. What type of background? What was their family upbringing like? How many siblings do they have? Right? These are the things that you have to, look for in a partner, right? What's their history like? And again, I'm going back to, how do they resolve past conflicts? Do they own their stuff? Do they own the role that they played in it? right? This stuff is important because if people never own their part and what they do, they're not going to own anything concerning your relationship. If they blame everybody else for what has happened in their lives and they're not forthcoming about the role that they played in it, then chances are they are not going to make a good partner. That's why you got to pay attention. Pay attention to what they're saying because honestly, like, I know people who never own anything. It's always somebody else's fault. And I'm just being honest, right? And they are very controlling and they want to rule the roost and they want to do all of that. But they don't own like the part that they played in the demise of whatever it was. It could have been the loss of their car. It could have been the loss of their home. It could have been the loss of, money. And they'll never tell you that they didn't handle their money right. Right. So when you're sitting down and you're having an open and authentic conversation with somebody, and all you hear is, I'm just catching bad breaks. All I've done on my entire life was catch bad breaks. Right. Then you need to think about whether or not they are really truly owning their stuff and if they're going to be a good partner for you. Do they discuss what happened in their past relationships? Right? Or relationship. Like what happened? What happened? Let's just keep it real. Hey Yana, I see you, boo. Hey sis, I love you. Yeah. So do they discuss, and when they discuss their previous relationships, are they discussing it from a healed place? Right? Are they just sitting around, if you will, right? Talking about the person from the perspective of how bad the other person was. Once again, do they own their part in it? Right? So these are the top 4 things you need to be looking for as you talk to your partner. Here's your potential partner, right? Here's the other thing. How do they handle money? Do they handle their money good? Do they do foolish things? Right? Now I know, and I've heard this from brothers, I worked for my money. I get to do what I want to do with my money. I've heard men talk about that. I've also heard women say the same, right? But to look at how somebody pays their bills, it shows you how responsible they are or not, right? Um, if when you first meet somebody, you hear that somebody else has to get them out of a jam, right? And they've been working for the last 15 years of their lives, they may not have ever made enough. So I'm not talking about that because I know that I have had my times in my life where I have truly struggled. You got to pay mortgage, you got to pay everything. And, God always worked it out for me. Praise the Lord. But the reality is that some people will get money and they will squander it. Is that the way that you're set up? How does a person keep their house, their home? You should know this in the first, couple of months of seeing them. I'm not saying you're going to be all up in their house and laying around and all this other stuff, but it is important, very important, to look at that. If you are, hey, Tanya, I see you, boo boo. I love you, sis. I love you. Right? I see amen. I see Facebook user. Give StreamYard permission to see your name. Right? And it's at the top of the video. You can see it if you're in my love relationships um and marriage group. Right? Kitchens and bathrooms are dead giveaways. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Like, how does the person keep their house? You can tell whether or not a person is tidy, whether or not you can deal with that, and you've got to make a decision about that. Right? And I'm not saying judge people, because some people keep their house clean up until. So you got to really see how they're living, period, like from the gate. Right? Let's just be clear about that. Just knowing watch how they move. And I think everybody watches how people move, but they some of that stuff they let slide right on under the rug. They don't pay attention to it. Right? They be like, oh yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, it was a little untidy. You notice it, but then you let it go to the back of your mind and you don't pay any attention. But if you're looking to be in a serious relationship and you're looking for somebody to spend your life with, that may be a problem if you have OCD. If you got OCD, that could be a whole problem for you, right? Because you can't live in a house that's untidy, right? And so you got to know, you got to look for these things in order to know when the, I got my window open, y'all. It was such a beautiful day out here. You have to look at these things before you get too deeply involved, right? And I'm just gonna pause for just a minute. A lot of times there are, and I'm not hating on nobody. I know it's just sex to y'all. I get it. But let me tell you something. If you sleep with every person that you date, you're gonna be used up like a filthy, dirty rag. That's why it's important to understand these things before you go too far. Before you start sleeping with people and lounging at their crib and cooking dinner and washing clothes. I just heard somebody say not too long ago that they was washing clothes for the man. They not even in a relationship. Why, wait a minute, why you got clothes at your house again? And so because we don't know how to just date and ask these questions. So here's one of the things that I wanted to share with y'all. I am releasing the top 10 questions to ask, right? Um, if you were trying to get to know somebody while you're dating, right? Something like that, right? It's an amazing list of questions. But one of the questions that I wrote was you can ask your potential partner, like, what would you prefer? A good book or a night out on the town? You could tell a lot about them. I have a client, he's a male. And he says to me he has a difficult time talking to women because he kind of rushes through the dates. He wants to get to the next thing. But when people ask you questions or you ask the question and they're answering you, listen, because what the person tells you is very telling about the way that they live their lives, right? And that's just one. That's just one of the questions. I'm gonna give y'all another one, just because I feel like it, right? Where is it? Okay, I'm gonna give y'all another one because I think this is good stuff. Um, what advice would you give your younger self? That is an amazing question. When you are talking to somebody and you're across the table from them and you're trying to get to know them, you can tell a lot about their character when they answer questions like that, right? And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong. I am not saying that you will know everything, but these are good conversation starters. And it doesn't mean, who says nah? So nah to what? Who is that? I don't know who you are. I don't know who's saying what. Give StreamYard permission to see your name, right? But really, when you think about building intimacy, intimacy is built one conversation at a time, slowly, methodically, right? And as you share and you open up to your partner, usually they'll say, well, what is it, your potential partner, well, what is it for you? What would you prefer, a night on the town or a good book, right? I don't know who that is. Just a D. I don't D who, right? Um, that's a good question because there are times when I enjoy a night on the town, but then there are days that I just crawl up with a good book, and I do it often. Sometimes I just take me a nice high, I get in my jacuzzi. Can I tell you, I light a candle, I get my book, I get a glass of wine. Some days I listen to music. It just depends on what kind of a mood I am. Me and Fantasia be singing, child. We singing. I love me some Fantasia. Okay. So, anywho, when you ask those questions, Nah was to do his laundry. Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, my point is that if you really want to build true intimacy while you're dating, go to the top of the video if you're in my love, relationships, and marriage group, because that's usually when I can't see the names. If you go up there and you click on, it'll tell you to give StreamYard permission right at the top of the video. It only does it when I'm live. It doesn't do that when the live is over, right? There's no need for that. Yeah, yeah. Asking these questions really helps you to open up and listen, and it helps them to open up and listen to you. Because usually, when you're in a conversation, both of y'all are sharing important information and you're getting to know each other, right? And you genuinely want to lean into that, asking those questions, because that's how you build true intimacy. A lot of people rush to the bedroom, but that ain't it. If you ever find yourself around somebody, and this is just, I'm just sidebarring right here. If you find yourself around somebody who ain't asking no questions and all they want to do is get to the bedroom, they don't want to know what your favorite color is. And I hate to say that because that's so simplistic, but they're not interested in you in any way other than getting you into the bedroom, baby, you better go in the opposite direction. Hello, somebody. Hello. Now let's talk about the third one, the third thing to look for in a partner: their personality. What type of personality do they have? Are they a good communicator? Do they know how to communicate well? When they get upset or agitated, do they walk away or do they lean in and say, listen, we need to talk? This is bothering me, right? And sometimes you won't know this until like month 2 or 3, because in the first couple of months, all y'all doing is dating and hanging out and having fun and trying to get to know each other. And really, nobody's trying to cause a rift. But you have to be with somebody who knows how to talk to you, who understands you, who knows how to speak to the king or the queen in you, right? So communication is the key ingredient to any healthy long-term relationship. It is not going to work if they cannot talk to you or they do not know how to talk to you, right? Are they fun? Do you like to have fun with them? Do they make you laugh? Because that's important. Like, I don't want to be with nobody who's a stick in the mud, who don't know how to have a conversation, who don't know how to laugh, and they're so serious. And I know I seem to a lot of people to be serious all the time, but actually I'm not. I'm really silly, right? And I love to have a good time. So I definitely don't want to be around somebody who do not know how to laugh, joke, and have fun. And there were times when I am straight, like a straight arrow. And I understand that there are different layers to us. We're like onions, and one person might get this out of us and another person might get that out of us. It just depends on who you're around and what you're doing at that particular time, right? And whether or not somebody is rubbing you the wrong way, right? Their personality does not mesh with yours, right? But honestly, you want to be with somebody who wants to have a good time, who wants to talk to you, who is engaging, somebody that knows how to talk to you and is engaging with you and cares about what's going on in your life, right? Just like you care about what's going on in theirs, right? So the other thing is, do you have shared common interests? Right? Do you guys kind of like the same things? And I'm not saying that a woman like has to like everything or a man has to like everything that a woman does. There are some people who like opera. And there's other people like, I'm not going to see an opera. And I'm okay with you going with your girlfriends or your guy friends. Go ahead on, rock out, Rocco, because we ain't doing that. I don't want to do it. That's not what I want to do, right? But having a shared common interest in whether or not you like to vacation or, travel. If you're family oriented, is the other person family oriented? Do they have to be around their kids all the time? Right? And are they trying to even think about incorporating you into their lives? Right? Because that's important, right? Everybody's not family oriented. Everybody is not. And so everybody doesn't, even vibrate on the same, energy. They don't, they like, some people are like, I go to church. That's what I do. That's all I do. And I'm not interested in trying to go to a jazz club with you. Right. Some people might say, oh, I don't want to be around any alcoholics. I have issues in my past with alcoholism and I don't like it. Right? Do they have common interests with you? And the reason why I ask this question is more or less because you have to be equally yoked. You have to be in alignment with one another. And if you are not in alignment, that's a problem. Yes? Yes. It's a huge problem. You don't want to be with somebody. I will post your comments if I could see your name, but if I can't see your name, then I'm not gonna post the comments. So if and in fact you really truly have somebody that you think has good character, their background is cool, you can rock with them, they really own their stuff, but you get to their personality and they always got an attitude or they don't want you around everybody, they just want you all to themselves. That may not work. That may not work. Right? Especially if they're introverted and you're extroverted, you got to think about what it is that ties you two together, because you may have this dope and amazing relationship on one level, but then on the other level, right, the issue then becomes that they don't necessarily get along with everybody the way that you get along with everybody. Right? They only want you. They don't want your family. They don't want your cousins. They don't want all your peoples around, right? No, they just want you. So you got to think about that, because those are the things that you have to look at. Because some people are very quiet into themselves. And when you have the type of mindset or the type of lifestyle where you like to go out, but they don't, that may not be a good match for you, but you need to know that from the door. So you need to ask the question of, do you share common interests? Like, do y'all have anything in common? Period. Right? The other thing is chemistry, which is very important. It's very, very important. The other thing, are you physically attracted to them? And let me just go and say this, not just the physical, but are you mentally and emotionally and spiritually attracted to them? Because that's important. Real talk. Like the physical stuff, y'all know what it is. You got a banging body. Okay. You got a banging body. Okay. We go together like two slices of white bread. It's all good. Like, I'm loving your body. Right. But if you're not physically attracted to them, that could be a whole wash. And I'm talking about for women, because men know immediately if they physically attracted to you. But if you're not physically attracted, sis, if you're not physically attracted to that man and you already know in your heart of hearts, nah, I'm good. I don't find him appealing. Then don't date him. Don't even bother. Don't even bother, right? But second to that, are they in the mindset of staying healthy? Right? I have been on this kick for years actually, but I've just been incorporating more and more stuff. Like I got like all kinds of powders. I got maca, spirulina, I got ashwagandha, I got all kinds of powders, right? And years ago it was just like, let me take this vitamin, let me take this, let me do that, and that, right? I'm very much into that. But does a person are they healthy, and are they concerned about their health? Because some people are not concerned about it. They may not be overweight, but they may drink like fish, right? So it may not be that they're overweight, right? And then when you look at someone who's overweight, the automatic thing is they must not care about themselves or love themselves, right? A lot of people don't like people who are overweight, period, right? And that's okay, because that's your preference, right? I'm overweight. So, I mean, it is what it is. That don't stop me from attracting people to me and talking to people. So whatever. But my point is that you have to care about your health, and do they care about their health? Right? So everybody's not going to fit into what I need and what I want, right? Because everybody does not care about their health like that. One of my girlfriends told me she met a guy who was a diabetic, and she saw how he was eating when they went out on a date. And she said he was talking about eating some cake or something. I don't know why diabetics are so, they just got to have something sweet. And she said When she talked to him again on the phone and he was eating crazy, and I think he had just lost his brother or something like that, to diabetes like 4 or 5 months before that, right? Homeboy was like, homegirl, my friend was like, nah, I don't even want to go out with him no more. So why? She said, because he doesn't take care of his health. And I could tell by how he was eating the day we went out, but then listening to him talk on the phone, I can also see that he did not care about his health. And I'm not signing up for that. Right. So if you know what you want, you already know, like I try to live my life as healthy as I can, but I meet somebody who is not taking care of themselves. They're not even going to the doctor. Come on now. Who wants to be bothered with that? So now we're into the chemistry, please. Do you align with each other? Right. Here's the other thing. Do they have the capacity to commit to you? Because there are some amazing and wonderful people out here who are available to go out on dates, who will take you to the movies. You could go with them to Central Park. You could go with, I live in New York, y'all, for all of y'all who don't. You can go with them to Central Park. You could go to Eisenhower. You could go anywhere you want with them. They'll take you out and like have a great time with you, make you laugh, have all of the charisma in the world, but they ain't going to commit to you. You have to figure out for yourself and ask the question of if they're ready for a committed relationship. Because everybody who's available is not ready for a committed relationship, and they definitely may not be wanting to be committed to you. And this is for my sisters who take a long time to languish and kind of lay in this thing, right? A lot of times it's like, I'm hoping that he'll love me. I'm hoping that he'll see how amazing and wonderful I am. We've been together for like 5 months, and like I've been talking to him, and we've been dating, and we've been having this great time, and he has not stopped you from month 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, wherever you are in that. It don't take a man that long to find out if he wants to commit to you. Just like you almost know instantaneously whether or not you want to give them some. Wait, y'all know when I look over my glasses. Okay. Real talk. If you don't see him moving and aligning himself with a commitment to you within a reasonable amount of time, then chances are it doesn't matter what his character is like, what his background is like, what his personality is like. You're not it for him. And I know a lot of my sisters struggle with, if I just can hold out, if I just hold out, he gonna see how amazing and wonderful I am. Sis, if he can't see how amazing and wonderful you are, I promise you, you'll be in year 3 and he still has not made a commitment to you. And I'm not talking about all men. I'm not talking about all men. Men legitimately have things going on in their lives, and they cannot, they don't want to commit at a particular time, right? I don't even care how old they are and how much money they make, right? That's not the thing. But if he is not serious about you, you should know that within 5 to 6 months. I don't know why we as women keep holding out hope that this man all of a sudden one day magically is going to see that we are just everything to them and change and make a commitment to you. They're not going to do it. They know if they love you or not. They know if they're ready for a relationship or not. And they know just like you know. You're like, yo, he fine. He finna get it. Right? Right? Stop allowing, to my sisters, men to string you along and have you believing that they are going to somehow, all of a sudden, after the 6th, 7th year, they're going to marry you. Sis, if he ain't marry you or he ain't make a commitment to you and say, listen, I'm taking you off the market between month 1 and month 6, the chances are you're probably not it for him. And I'm so serious about that. A man is not going to risk losing the love of his life. That he's not going to risk it. And he knows how hard it is to find the diamond in the rough. Men know what's out here in these streets more than sometimes we do because we not always in the streets, right? We just keep having bad experience after experience. But men know the quality of the women that are out there, and they know the ones that are of good quality. They know when you are the one for them. They know. You won't have to do cartwheels and flips and handstands, honey. He gonna see it. He gonna see the beauty that you are and recognize that you are a rare gem. He is not going to let you go. He ain't even one chance to, you know what? Listen, I'm just not ready right now. No, he not even gonna do that. He gonna take you off the market, and whatever he gotta work on, he gonna work on it with you right there with him, right? Because he knows the quality of the woman that you are. He really does. And I don't know what men see specifically. Maybe I'll ask my brothers when I have them on again, right? When it's not just me, I'll bring my brothers on. But there are some very telling things about what they see in you that they're not sharing with you, but they already made the decision that they are not going to keep you around. Now they will sleep with you because let's face it, and I don't care how ill you think your nana is, pumpkin. I don't care how good you are in bed. That's all he's going to give you if he does not feel the way that you feel about him. And I wish women would understand that. It doesn't matter how good you do anything. I'm trying to tell you, it don't matter how you carry on and carry. I don't care how you swing from the good chandelier, pumpkin. How you drop the thing like it's hot. All I'm saying is that when men find value in you and they know who you are, the diamond that you are, they're not gonna let you. They're not letting you go because they realize how much of a rarity you really are. You know. Okay, so Tony, I am putting this comment up. It's a big one. I'm putting it up, baby. That happened to me. I dated a man for 10 months before I accepted the truth. He told me directly more than once. And in the very beginning, I thought if I do this or that, he would suddenly fall in love with me and change his mind. It don't happen when people tell you. You listen to what they're saying. I own this for the inability and willingness to accept the truth that I was it. I was entertainment. He was really nice to me, but it was self-serving. And on his end, it paid off to be nice, to keep my, I can't see the rest of it, baby. I'll see the rest of it when I'm done. But you understand? That's exactly what happens. Because a man can be good. I dated this guy for 10 years. I always tell the story. It's the stupidest thing I've ever done. Like off and on for 10 years. It wasn't like a straight 10 years, right? Okay, so it was more like a straight maybe 5 or 6. Stupidest thing I've ever done. Like, how do you date somebody for 5 or 6? I mean, just straight date. Like, you do what you want to do, I do what I want. But yo, let's go to City Island. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, go on, let's go. And like I wasn't ready for a relationship then, so that's neither here nor there. But the point is, you don't date nobody for that long. When they tell you and show you who they are, you got to believe them. You have to believe them. Don't think for 2 seconds that somehow, some kind of way, you're going to change, right, who they are. You're going to change what they decide they're going to do. No, they not. If they told you once, ain't no point in repeating it. And you only need somebody to tell you once that they don't want you. Like, you only need somebody to show you who they are one time. And let me be fair. Right? Let me be fair. People make mistakes. right? They do things wrong. They don't see clearly all the time. And sometimes it's past traumas that make people act out and do things that they do. I get it, right? But you, you cannot make anybody stop and see you differently once they saw you the way that they see you, right? They're going to stick with that. And if it's not positive, or they don't feel good about you, or they watch how you handle something, or they, watch how you didn't handle something, listen to me. Regardless to what was going on in your life and what they witnessed, they didn't stop and ask you because they weren't that concerned, but they judged you on that one thing, and they let that be the guiding, the template to say, nah, you ain't it, boo. I'll screw you though. You can back it up. Thank you, because you're good at that. I'll take that. But no, we are not. What you call? There's a brother who said, he didn't say it to me directly, but indirectly. I was listening to him talk to somebody else. He don't like fat women. It bothers him, right? And so, I'm ear hustling, not minding people business, but I'm ear hustling, and he's uncomfortable. He don't want a fat woman. So, like, if you know that, right, then, well, for him, I was ear hustling. I was minding somebody else's business. But there's a lot of brothers that don't like big women. And there's a lot of brothers that don't like skinny women, right? But they'll still screw you if you let them, right? So I'm just trying to be clear about what it is that I'm saying here, right? Because a lot of people believe that they can change the person's mind. It might not even be the weight as much as it is the way that they view you, right? I've talked to brothers who said to me, and I got some male friends who don't like big women. And we'll be like, Kev, yo, she was a big one. I ain't fooling with that girl. You know what I'm saying? I said, well, okay, but she can lose weight. Nah, I ain't waiting for her to lose no weight. I see how she living already. I'm not messing with her. I'm like, okay. So for me, I'm like, that's kind of shallow. He said, no, Kim, I got my preferences. I don't like big women. Right. And so I was like, okay, because that's his right not to like big women. Right. He may not ever tell you that though, if you are the big woman, or he may not ever say to you, you too little for me. I like them thick, thick. Right. And honestly, like, women don't want to listen when a man is straight telling you, nah, I'm good. Some men won't say nothing to you at all, but again, they'll sex you all day and all night on the low. They ain't taking you outside. They're not introducing you to their friends, right? They're not introducing you to their family. Why? They don't even want you around because you're too big for them. But they'll come to your house at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, because now they know that that if they come at 11, that's too late. You already know what they're coming for. So they'll come and actually have dinner with you. Y'all pray for me, pray for me. They will actually come and have dinner with you, right? And watch TV with you and chill with you, and then walk, hey, Sharon, I see you, baby. How are you? And they'll actually do all of that and then walk away from you. And then walk away from you because you're not it. Some men are not into what you're into, and they'll never, ever, ever tell you that because they don't want to hurt your feelings, and they don't want to block the blessings, right? They don't want to block the blessing of having your body. So they're not going to tell you that. I'm just being honest, right? And they'll use you up until you are nothing more than a filthy rag. And so I'm saying this to my sisters because sex is not the same for men as it is for women. And a lot of women already know that, right? But that doesn't mean that he loves you. That's why we got to look at the top 4 things to look for in a partner, right? the character, their background, personality, chemistry, whether or not you have it. And that all of what I just said to you all is not just for sisters, it's for sisters and brothers. The last part was for my sisters specifically, right? Stop laying on your back. I keep, and I know everybody grown. I know y'all big grown. And y'all gonna sleep with whoever you feel like you want to sleep with. If everybody grown. I don't have no heaven and hell to put nobody in. Do what you gonna do, right? But understand that that's not gonna put you any closer to finding the right partner for yourself. And I'm just being honest. Okay, Tony, you wrote a lot here again. I was doing wifey things, trying to earn a relevant spot in this man's life. Tony, okay, so first of all, let me just tell you how I appreciate your transparency. I appreciate you, sis. I thank you for saying, because a lot of women don't have the courage to say what you're saying. I was doing wifey things, trying to earn a relevant spot in this man's life. I was ignorant to the fact that there aren't enough favors or chores you can do for a person to buy a spot in their lives. If you expect emotional reciprocal treatment, you are waiting a long ass time. I learned a lot from you, Kim, and I learned a lot from my own mistakes too. I'm okay on my own for now until the right one presents themselves. Tony, you know what? And I tell you, I thank you for always being a part of my classes and stuff like that, and anything that I do, and your support and your love. But Tony, people are not this transparent. They will hide that kind of stuff because they don't want anybody to know that they washing his clothes, they walking the dog, they cleaning their house, they doing all this. People will not tell you that for fear of being judged, and I get it. I get it. But if you want to tell the truth and shame the devil. You're not in that space anymore, Tony. And I know that, right? I knew that before you wrote that. You have grown so much in leaps and bounds. And that's why I thank you so much for saying what you're saying, because a lot of people won't say what you just said. And you were trying to buy favors, right? Through cleaning the house and doing all of this, washing clothes and doing all of this stuff, trying to see where you align and where your lives align and where he's going to be like, oh no, you're it. Oh my God, you wash my clothes and you cook such good food. And no, because 9 out of 10 times men don't even care about that. They say, can you cook? And they want to know, right? They want a woman who could do something. But do you know how many good men can cook out here? There are a lot of men who throw all the way down. And I know because some of my little brothers, and they be, they be throwing all the way down. They be cooking fried turkey. I'm like, what are you doing? What you cook? Yo, bring me a plate. Right? You know. Yeah, there's so many, people that can take care of themselves, men. They want somebody that's going to be an asset to them. And they know if you it or not. That's why I said, stop giving. Y'all keep them legs closed, y'all. Keep them closed. You said, I left him in 2020. It's been a long time by myself, and I did all that stuff. Now I cook for me and clean my own house. I know that's right, Toby, what you said. I know that's right. You better say so. Because you get to the point where you realize that you have got to gain clarity. I said this on a live a little while ago, a couple of days, I don't know, weeks ago, I don't know. Anyway, a lot of people spend time alone, Tony, and they're like, I don't want no relationship. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna take care of me. I'm gonna do this, that, 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 that. And they may stay by themselves for 5, especially women, 5, 10 years, right? 15. I know some women who 20 years by themselves, right? I promise you. But they ain't spent a day of that trying to heal. They just made a decision like, I'm not going right now. I'm going to take it easy and take care of me. And when the right one comes, if you did not take time to heal, and this is for men and women, what are you going to do? The same person is going to show up in the next relationship. It doesn't matter how long it's been. If you don't do the work, if you don't take the time to do the work, right? You can be without a partner for, I don't know, take your pick, 10, 15, 20 years, 25, hell, for the rest of your life. You don't got to be with nobody, because if you never take time to heal, you're going to show up being the same person you were in that last relationship. If you don't take accountability for who you are and where you are and lean into the body of work that is going to help you to heal and become a better person, right? If you don't take the time to look at even these four things that I named today: character, background, personality, and chemistry, if you don't do those things, right? Don't think for 2 seconds that you're going to get into nothing healthy 5, 4, 3 years up the road. It don't matter how long you've been. If you ain't been doing the work, and I really mean that. I don't know why people think like, somebody, if somebody new came into your life and you didn't do any healing, and you get with them and all of the stuff from your past begins to come up for you again, or even a little bit familiar, and you don't know what that is rooted in, chances are you're going to sabotage your relationship because you didn't do the work. And I'm just being honest. And it's about taking that time, not just to be by yourself. What are you doing when you by yourself? But taking the time to grow, to gain some clarity around the things that are important to you, right? Not just, I don't want this and I don't want that and I don't. No, people quick, they can tell you real quick what they don't want. Let me ask you a question. What do you want? But what do you want? Because that's an important question. So we're quick to know, because we've dealt with crap before, what you don't want. But the question is, what do you want? Right? Some people haven't taken time to do that work, that body of work, and lean into the courage that it takes to set a standard and a boundary, right? Because the next guy's going to come along and he's going to do you the same way. And the reason why he's going to do you the same way and he looks real familiar is because you ain't changed nothing about the lens you look through. That's why. I have coming up on April the 17th, a 5-day challenge. It's real love. It's real true love. I'm sorry, attracting. Ooh, go ahead, Kim. Attracting your happily ever after. I have that coming up on April the 17th. If you have not registered, or you do not get email from me, I'm going to be posting a link actually, so you can sign right up for that 5-day challenge. And it's going on it's going to be 7 p.m. from April 17th to the 21st. And I'm doing a deep dive. Bring a notebook. I'm doing a deep dive into this. And it's going to be free. It's a free 5-day challenge. And I'm telling you, I'm going in. So get ready. It's not a live. It is not going to be a live. It's going to be on Zoom. And I'm going to actually post the link so you can register and sign up for it. Right. And then I think it's going to be May 21st, I'm doing an in-person workshop. I'm looking for the location now. I got the date. So I'm looking for the location now. It's going to be a Sunday. So it'll be after church. It is going all the way down. We're going to have a good time, right? So, yeah. Get ready. And I'm going to bring out my TD Jakes voice. Get ready. Can I just say this before I get ready to jump off here? 23 is going to be a substantial year for a lot of people if they are prepared. If they are prepared or have been preparing for what they've been praying for. I've been talking about that since last year. Get prepared for everything that you prayed for. And if you haven't been getting yourself prepared, and this is a question I have for y'all, it's been on my heart all day as I was thinking about going live. If I told you that in 3 months, you were going to meet the person of your dreams, would you be ready? If I said in 3 months, you're going to go to a specific restaurant and the person of your dreams is going to be coming there to sit down and chill and just have, a beer or something. I don't know, right? I don't know, If I told you in 3 months that this was going to happen for you, would you be ready? Would you squander it? People pray and ask God for the keys to a Mercedes, right? And God, we his little children, we his daughters, right? And God says, I can give you the Benz. You really want the Benz? Yeah, I want the Benz. But God knows that if he gives you the Mercedes Benz right now, that you're going to crash it. What God is going to do, he's going to protect you. And you're like, well, why didn't I get the Benz yet, God? Because you ain't ready for the Benz. But if I told you that getting prepared to meet and attract to yourself your happily ever after, what would you do? Would you get ready? Because this is very serious now. I'm so serious. What would you begin to do? What's the first thing you would work on so you wouldn't squander the opportunity to have your happily ever after? And that's a really serious question. Would you be ready? Show a hand. Somebody tell me that if I told you in 3 months, and I know for a fact in 3 months you're going to meet and attract to yourself the person of your dreams, and they were going to be the answer to your prayer, would you be ready for it? Somebody type a 1, put a 1 if you would be ready for the person of your dreams. You say, I say ready, Kim, so I don't have to get ready. You say, are you saying I stay ready? Is that what you're saying? I stay ready so I don't have to get ready? Okay, I got you. I got you, Sharon. Okay. Okay, I got you. And you know what? And I believe you, because I believe you have clarity. I believe you not only have clarity, I believe that if your husband, because now we're gonna go in, I'm gonna go in a little deeper with you. I'm gonna go in a little deeper with you, Sharon. This woman say, I'm going a little deeper with you, right? Check this out. If I know that if your husband came home and said, baby, I just blew $150,000 of your money, right? I just blew it. I thought that I could make it. I thought I was going to make some money back, right? And I'm using money as an analogy because everybody crazy about money, right? That you are going to say, baby, all right, I believed in your dream. I believed in, okay. No, I'm asking because you're ready, right? Because I'm asking because you're ready, right? Because you're ready. So I'm asking that if your husband came home and say, I just blew $150,000 of our money, of your money. Matter of fact, it ain't even his. He ain't put it there, but he has access to it. If it, you ready. You ready. Because see, we don't consider these things. How do you handle that? How do you handle that? What we're talking about is transforming our hearts and our minds in preparation for what we've been praying for. And I know, like on the surface, like, okay, listen, I got this thing. I hear you. But the healing, it's an ing on the end of that because it's an ongoing process. And we're constantly learning ing, how to be better versions of ourselves because we're working in concert, not with ourselves, but with God in order to be that. And we're trusting the Holy Spirit to lead us and guide us, right? And so when I say what I say, the way the world views things, the way the world looks at things, right? Yeah, okay, we're not doing that. We are being transformed. We are praying for. And right. Because now, the first answer is prayer, right, Sharon? The first answer is prayer. That's the answer. Honestly, that's the answer. But the other part of that is the reaction, the immediate reaction and response to difficulty. Because I'm saying, right, pray. I'm saying, okay, so God, can I have the keys to the Mercedes Benz? And we be wondering why he holding it back. God, you know I can get to say no. And I know you know how to drive and all that. You can drive backwards too. I see you. You know? But I'm not giving you the keys, because if I give you the keys, it's going to destroy you. It's going to destroy you. And I don't want to destroy you. Right now, we're in a season of building up. We're in a season of preparation. We're in a season of transformation. And so while I want you to have all of these amazing and wonderful things and have this amazing relationship with this amazing husband who will treat you like the queen that you are, I also need you to prepare yourself for what you've been praying for. So this is why I wanted to talk about what you look for even in a partner. They line up. You're equally yoked. They understand your needs and you understand theirs, right? And you know your position and you know what your posture should be, right? And this may not be for everybody. I can only tell you, honestly, that a Bible reading and a Bible believing and a Bible practicing people cannot be denied. Herman Washington, thank you. Hello. This is real talk. And so if we want to be prepared, we want to know what to look for, we want to have clarity, we want to be in that place where we are being who God told us to be. And I know everybody ain't into the whole God thing. I know that the people just don't, I get it. But that's where I'm at. And that's where I teach from. Right. So anyway, I have been on here one whole hour. I didn't know that I was going to be on here a whole hour. I love y'all. I really, really, really do. And I am so grateful that you guys stayed on and watched with me. I love y'all for real, like some fried chicken. I promise.